No, back for more shopping. Yes, in the fruit and veg section.
Well, MP Square, whatever you want, you can get them.
Popcorn! Would love some popcorn. Let's go find some popcorn. Oh, for now, let's pass it back to
Organic is too expensive.
Let's go back to the professor for now. Well, welcome back. We leave our two characters shopping in the supermarket for food. And welcome back. This is your professor. And he's T.A. Younghee.
Hello, this is T.A. Younghee. Oh, it's so busy. I have to back and forth between supermarket with MP Square and a Professor Neil office.
Good stuff, Younghee. So, because of that, can you remember the food groups we mentioned in part 1?
Yes. Part 1, I learned the new things that fish is part of meat.
So
then cucumber is fruit. Tomato is fruit. They are so interesting. And yes, lots of stuff.
Okay, so as we learned in the first, there are different food groups: meats, dairy foods, grain foods, fruits, and vegetables. And foods are categorized into these groups. And these foods are nouns in the sentence. And when you go shopping and you use phrases like how many, you have to quantify them. And the quantifiers come before the nouns and relate to questions such as how many, how much. And so in our dialogue with Beth and Tom, they used the quantifiers a dozen eggs or a large brick of cheddar cheese. And we explained those to you, that a dozen eggs was 12 eggs and a large brick of cheese is like a rectangular shape of cheese, of any shape, size. And yes, as we mentioned, some of those nouns are countable, and if they're countable, they will tend to use the quantifiers. They need and un, and they work with how many. So yeah, as you can see, how many is in blue. And if they are countable, you can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Younghee's taking down notes, and hopefully you took notes as well.
Double checking because I sent some homework.
Yes, we are on part 2.
Test, but these uncountable nouns are very, very tricky.
Younghee is right. We do like to put these in the tests and homeworks, especially in the final writing test. You're likely to be quizzed on this. And maybe in the speaking test too. So, how much water do you have? Water is uncountable, so you say how much. And you can use a container to make a more specific amount. And you don't say I have any water, you say I have some water. But that's enough for now because we discussed it, and if you need to, go back to part 1 and have a look. And we're going to practice a lot of that in the speaking sections and writing sections of part 2.
Ooh, yummy.
Yes. So let's go to speaking 1.
Wow.
Speaking 1, look at the picture. Choose 3 foods you want to eat and 3 you do not. So on the right, we have the example, I want some salad, which means I want to eat some salad. I don't want to eat any bread. So notice how any works with the not, and some if there's no not. How much salad she wants to eat, well, that's difficult to say. She just says some salad. Salad is here in the middle.
Professor Neil, I don't want any bread or salad.
Okay, Younghee, let's ask you. What are 3 things you want to eat?
Prawns.
I want to eat prawns.
I want some prawns.
Okay.
And I want some lobster and mussels. And
okay, so that's 3 things you want to eat. You want to eat some prawns, some lobsters, and mussels. Where are mussels?
Isn't the black thing mussels next to the prawns?
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I can't see. It's a bit blurry. And what are 3 things you don't want to eat? So I don't want
I don't want any bread or salad or beans.
Okay. Okay, Youngie, if you ask me, because I'm feeling hungry.
Professor Neil, what do you want to eat? And choose 3 food you want to eat and choose 3 food you don't want to eat.
Okay, I want to eat all of the curry. I want to eat all the curry. Oh.
That's already more than 3.
No, that curry is just 1 meal.
Greedy, Professor Neil.
Not some curry, I want all the curry. And yes, do I like lobster? Yeah, I want a little lobster, a little of the lobster.
Lobster cannot be a little, it's very big anyhow.
I'm picky and choosy. And I'm feeling healthy after that. I'd like to have some salad. And I don't want to eat any... Well, there is nothing I don't want to eat. I want to eat everything. There is nothing I don't want to eat. I will eat it all.
Wow, you sound like MP Squire, my friend.
Yes.
He always wants to eat everything.
Yes.
Everything on the table.
Exactly. So I want to eat everything. And drink everything. But I'm not drinking at the moment, so I'll just have a glass of water.
And tea.
So that's an example of speaking 1. And it's likely to pop up that I might ask you those questions, hopefully at some time in the future. Oh, we did so you've just listened to me and Younghee. So moving on. Let's go to speaking 2, eating habits. Speaking 2 is eating habits. Tell your partner about Minho or Shelley's eating habits. So here are Minho and Shelley, and these are all their eating habits: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So the idea is, A, Minho usually eats rice soup in the morning. So here we go, rice and soup in the morning. He hardly ever eats toast. And Younghee says, that seems healthy or unhealthy?
Interesting choice of breakfast.
Yes. So let's split these in 2. Let's deal with Minho's eating habits first, with some questions and answers related to Minho's eating habits. So Younghee, I'm going to ask you the questions. Are you okay to answer the questions about Minho's eating habit?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, here's first question then. What does Minho usually eat in the morning?
He usually eats rice and soup in the morning. He hardly ever eats fried eggs and toast.
So there we go. That covers his morning. Do you think that's healthy or unhealthy?
I think fairly healthy.
Okay.
Professor Neil, hardly ever means almost never?
Almost never.
Almost never.
Yes. These adverbs we learnt in the previous unit, and they're not specific. So they could mean different things for different people. But yeah, if you say hardly ever, maybe that's like once a month or once a year. So not often. Let's move to the afternoon. What does Minho usually eat in the afternoon?
He often eats hamburger in the afternoon, and he also eats pizza twice a week.
Good, Younghee. Only one slight correction there, which some of our students will have. He often eats a hamburger. Okay, so, or you could say he often eats hamburgers. So the quantifier here, well, not the quantifier, we need the determiner a. And he very good, you said he also eats, so also would have worked here, he also eats pizza twice a week. Younghee, what is twice?
2 times.
Two times a week. Very good.
So, Professor, here, hamburger is countable.
Countable.
Pizza is not countable.
Pizza is not countable, but sometimes people make it countable.
But we say a slice of pizza.
A slice of pizza, yes. He eats a slice of people. But some people sometimes make it countable and say, I eat a pizza.
But normally, hamburger is countable, while pizza is not countable.
Yeah, crazy. What does Minho usually eat in the evening?
He almost always eats fried chicken and what is that?
Salad.
Salad in the evening. He sometimes eats sissy. Strange boy.
Well, diets, horses for courses. Different people eat different diets.
I would almost always eat sissy.
Yes. And then late at night. What does Minho usually eat at night?
He seldom eats potato chips.
Yes. Which doesn't really match with our question. Because I asked what does he usually eat, not what does he sometimes eat.
Maybe he...
Seldom means sometimes.
He usually doesn't eat anything at night. But very, very occasionally, he eats potato chips.
Yes, because he has a healthy diet. It would appear he has a healthy diet, does the young man.
Since when hamburger and fried chicken is a healthy diet?
Okay, Yonghi, if you ask me the questions and I'll give you the answers about Shelley.
What does Shelley usually eat in the morning?
She often eats cereal and fruit. She eats muffins once a week.
And what does Shelley usually eat in the afternoon?
She usually eats a salad. She sometimes eats a sandwich. So salad can be countable and uncountable.
Oh, confusing.
Yes. Evening.
What does Shelley usually eat in the evening?
She eats steak and chips 3 times a week.
Wow.
She rarely eats pizza.
And what does Shelley usually eat at night?
But it's water. You don't eat water.
Yeah, but I can ask it, but you answer in I don't eat anything I can drink.
I agree, but it would be a strange question. So if you ask here, because we can see the drink.
Okay. What does Shelley usually drink at night?
Very good, Yonghi. And so, yep, she usually drinks a cup of water at night.
Professor Neil, what do you usually drink at night?
I usually drink some water at night. Or I usually drink a cup of water at night or a little bit of water at night. Or sometimes a cup of tea. Good. Well, again, take notes, write it down, pay attention to the nouns, the quantifiers, and the questions. Because it might come up again, and if not, let's move on to the self-practice 1. In my refrigerator.
Ooh.
Well, not my refrigerator, the refrigerator in the book. But it says, think of your refrigerator at home. What is or isn't inside? Write sentences using some, any, a lot, a few, a little, many, or much. So I'm going to give you example sentences based on the refrigerator in the picture.
It's not my refrigerator.
It's nobody's refrigerator, but it's the one in the picture. So let's give you some. So as I say, there are some apples. Yeah, is that an apple?
There's one on the right side.
And there's one there. So there are 2 apples. So I guess that means there are some apples. There isn't any soda. No, we can't see any soda. So what can we see? Oh, well, let's give you some answers. So, for example, there are some eggs. Over here we can see 3 eggs.
There are eggs on the left.
Oh, more eggs. More eggs on the left. Good.
Very interesting fridge.
There is some milk. Actually, there is lots of milk. But there is some milk. There are some avocados.
There are avocados. That's aubergine.
Oh, here we go. Avocados here.
Okay.
So, I would probably say there is 1 avocado. There is lots of water. Lots of water in bottles. There are lots of bottles of water. There is much meat. But we don't. You could also say there is lots of meat too.
So a lot of can be used for both countable and uncountable.
Yes. A lot of, lots of can be used for either countable or uncountable. Same with some works with both. There are many vegetables.
Too many vegetables.
Yes, too many. There are too many vegetables. There isn't any ice cream.
Because it's a refrigerator, not the freezer.
Oh, good point, Yongi. Who would put ice cream in the fridge? You'd keep it in the freezer. In the freezer. Good point. Good point.
This refrigerator look really decorative, like doesn't look really real.
No. Notice though, we use a lot of there are or there is, plus some, or lots of, or much, or many. But if there isn't any, or there aren't any, then you use any, even if there isn't any water, there isn't any soda. So if it's countable or uncountable, you can use the same quantifier.
So negative, you use any. You can't say there isn't some soda.
You should not say there isn't some ice cream, because that means there is some ice cream. So that would cause confusion. So if you're saying isn't or aren't, you follow it with any. Self-practice 1, finished. Let's go to self-practice 2. Ooh, wrong picture, but let's see what's coming up in self-practice 2. Oh, we have a regular diet. So Yonghee, what I'd like you to do is ask me the question and complete the questionnaire. So you ask me the questions and fill out the questionnaire, okay?
Professor Neil, isn't diet meaning losing weight?
No, diet means the food you eat.
I didn't know that.
So to diet means to control the food you eat.
Diet is the food we are eating.
Yeah, so you can have a healthy diet, you can have an unhealthy diet. Like with Shelley and Minho before. They had healthy diets.
So diet have 2 different meanings then?
Yes.
Here, diet means food you eat.
So if you say I diet, that is a verb, meaning I control what I eat. My regular diet means the food I eat.
I have to write down.
So let's take some, so Yonghee, you're going to take some notes here. And you're going to ask me the questions, and I'm going to tell you about my diet.
Professor Neil, what do you usually have for breakfast?
I usually have some cereal or an apple.
How about lunch?
I usually skip lunch.
How about dinner?
Oh, I don't skip dinner. I usually have samgyeopsal or chicken.
Which one do you prefer, Professor Neil?
Difficult. I love samgyeopsal. I love fried chicken, so probably a mixture of both at the same time is like heaven.
And how often do you eat at restaurants?
Very often.
How often do you go grocery shopping?
occasionally.
How often do you cook meals for friends?
Once in a blue moon.
Never.
Never.
And do you eat some fruit every day?
Yes, I try to eat fruit every day.
And do you have snacks at night?
Too often. I need to stop.
What do you eat at night?
Potato chips.
Okay, everybody loves potato chips.
I know, but...
Do you like fresh vegetables?
Yes, I do like them. I love fresh vegetables. I like the fact when you eat samgyeopsal, you get lots of fresh vegetables. Lettuce, yes.
And perilla leaf.
Oh, delicious.
How many portions from each food group did you have yesterday?
Yesterday, I had 3 portions of meat.
Okay, and
4 portions of dairy foods.
And
2 portions of grain foods. And 5 portions of fruits.
And
3 portions of vegetables.
Is there more than one professional?
So, Yoonghee, would you say my eating habits are healthy?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. No, I don't think my eating habits are healthy. Ooh.
But you seem to eat a lot, though.
Well, I better take care of my eating habits then for the future and think about my diet. Maybe I will have to go on a diet. For now, we're going to move on to classroom activity. But as we have done before in the past with classroom activities, because it is a classroom activity, we will make it a classroom activity. So when we're in the classroom, we will do this activity. But for now, we are moving on. Let's go to the listening. I think we have time for the listening. So Yoonghee and I are going to read the conversation between the shopkeeper and the customer. So read it and then we'll listen and then we will give you the answers. So one moment. How may I help you today?
Do you have any Italian sausages?
Of course, we have hot, medium and mild.
Great! I'd like 6 hot sausages. And do you have any French bread?
Yes, we have some baguettes over there.
No, not baguettes. I'm looking for a round loaf of bread.
Yes, we have some. We have those too.
I'd also like some cheese and stuffed olives.
We have lots of cheese, but we don't have any stuffed olives. Okay. Good. All right. Let's give you the answers then. Listening answers coming up. So we're going to read it and you'll see the answers come up on the screen too. So here we go. How may I help you today?
Do you have any Italian sausages?
Of course, we have hot, medium and mild.
Great, I would like 6 hot sausages. And do you have any French bread?
Yes, we have some baguettes over there.
No, not baguettes. I'm looking for a round loaf of bread.
Yes, we have those too.
I'd also like some cheese and stuffed olives.
We have lots of cheese, but we don't have any stuffed olives.
Professor Neil, what is the delicatessen?
Delicatessen is a place where you go to buy specialized foods, specialized meats, specialized cheeses, sort of special food. It usually deals with meat and cheeses. As you can see in the window, lots of meats. Meats, cheeses, breads. So it's a sort of specialized. It's similar to is a mixture of a butcher's and a baker's and a grocery store, but specialized. Does specialized stuff. Usually done by local farmers. But yes, it's a delicatessen.
Delicatessen. I have to write down this new word to me.
And we're going to move on. Alright, let's go to the last bit that we're going to talk about, the reading and writing. We have almost finished now. So, as it says, reading and writing traditional rules. Read Zizi's description of a traditional Chinese meal, then write a similar description about food from your country. So, read this example, and then, as it says, give your example in the writing. So, I'm going to give you my example, which you will see in the homework, and you can use to write your own one about a food that is popular in your country. So, here we have. In England, fish and chips is popular. There are usually two types of fish, cod or haddock. The fish is coated in batter, flour, salt, water and pepper, then deep fried. The chips are large wedges of deep fried potato. English people usually put salt and vinegar on their fish and chips. Fish and chips are usually served in paper, and you eat them with your fingers or a fork. We usually like to eat it while sitting on the sofa watching the football on TV. I really like the taste of fish and chips. They are delicious.
Fish is delicious.
So pick a food that is popular in your country. Talk about the ingredients. Here I talked about cod and haddock and potatoes. How do you eat it? So here I talked about how we eat it with fingers or a fork. When do you eat it? I talked about I usually like to eat it while sitting on the sofa watching the football. What do you like or dislike about it? I really like the taste of it, and they are delicious. So good luck with your own writing.
That should be homework?
Yes.
Oh, I have to write down.
So time to almost finish, for us at least. And we're just going to quickly browse through the grammar review. So grammar review is self-study. So here for the first one you have to add an or an an for the countable. So you have to put
bread,
un or some. So like some bread, an orange, tomato, some lemonade, onion, some cheese, and so on. Okay. And then self-study again. You have to pick much or many. There are many cups next to the sink. So look for an S. Usually if you see an S, it means many. Alright, is there any milk in the refrigerator? But if it's a question, it's usually any. If there's a question, it's usually any. And if it's negative, it's usually any as well. And the last self-study, are the following sentences correct? Is the grammar correct? So bad grammar, good grammar. Once you've done that, you're finished.
Finished!
Well, apart from you have to submit the homework, but that's all for now, folks. That was English 2 with your Professor Neil and his TA, Younghee.
It was good Unit 3 finishing. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.